Good day. Thank you for joining us for today's news. If you find this helpful, please consider subscribing. We're here every day with calm, clear updates just for you.
In June, New Zealand's housing market hit a roadblock with both prices and sales volumes dipping, signaling a slowdown in the long-expected recovery. The latest ANZ economic report reveals that this stagnation is compounded by a continued rise in council rates, which are fueling inflation and adding to household file. The Real Estate Institute of New Zealand, REINZ, data shows a 0.3% drop in the seasonally adjusted house price index for June, with the market now just 1.1% above its October 2024 low. Broader economic indicators also point to a weakening recovery, with 12 out of Payan council rates, which have averaged an annual increase of 7% to 12% over the past 4 years, are expected to climb further, with inflation in these fees hitting a record high of 12.2% in 2024. The report notes that this surge is partly due to strained council finances. Meanwhile, communes are facing rising costs in insurance, interest, and maintenance, with those who bought property before the pandemic likely to see large capital gains, while those entering the market around the 2021 peak may not have benefited as much as the economy struggles with inflation and rising living costs.
The Jeffrey Epstein Files have become a major political flashpoint in Congress, with Democrats accusing Republicans of protecting the wealthy and powerful. While Republicans defend their stance on legal and moral grounds, the issue is expected to remain contentious as the House moves into office.
A serious crash has blocked State Highway 2 near Papamoa Beach, causing chaos on the road and raising concerns about safety. The incident happened around 3:40 p.m. on Thursday when two vehicles collided near Bruce Road. One person was seriously injured and two others suffered moderate to minor injuries. Motorists are being directed along alternative routes, but delays are expected. Local authorities are now under pressure to address the growing number of accidents in the area, with some residents calling for better road safety measures. As the investigation continues, the focus is on ensuring the injured receive proper. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the risks drivers face on New Zealand's roads and the need for continued improvements in infrastructure and enforcement.
In a major financial turnaround, New Zealand's largest pastoral farmer, PMU, is forecasting a record after-tax profit of between $119 and $122 million for the 2025 from a $26 million loss in the pre-thaw trunk. Facing challenges such as droughts and floods, PMU has managed to offset these with record milk prices and improved productivity. Beef and lamb prices have also surged, fueled by demand from key markets like the United States, and reduced domestic production, while PMU acknowledges the risks of future weather events and commodity price fluctuations of New Zealand's agricultural sector.
A young man named Tigris Tipe passed away in a hospital in Hamilton, New Zealand, just days before his 21st birthday. His death is being investigated as a homicide, and an 80-year-old has been charged in connection with the case. The community is deeply affected, with many expressing their grief and offering support to Tipe's family. Police have set up a portal for the public to submit any relevant information, emphasizing the importance of community cooperation. Tigris' grandmother shared heartfelt messages. As the investigation continues, the focus remains on supporting the family and uncovering the truth behind this tragic event.
A groundbreaking ruling by the International Court of Justice has sparked a wave of legal action in New Zealand, putting the government under the spotlight for its climate policies. The decision asserts that countries can be held legally responsible for the climate damage caused by their greenhouse gas emission. The court ruled that nations are legally obligated to set climate targets consistent with limiting global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius, not 2 degrees Celsius. This has placed New Zealand under increased scrutiny of its 2030 emission scrutiny. Climate Change Minister Simon Watts has acknowledged the challenges but has been cautious in making public commitments beyond exploring options to meet the targets. Jessica Polarit of Lyre. Polarit, Chile. 一位 climate leader Mike Smith, who recently won the right to sue major energy and agricultural companies, welcomed the ruling as a beacon of hope. Environmental lawyers are already discussing how to leverage the ruling in New Zealand courts, with a focus on challenging the government's current imiri. The ICJ's advisory opinion, while not binding, carries significant legal and moral authority and is expected to influence as the government continues to navigate the complexities of meeting its climate commitments. The international ruling serves as a reminder of the legal and ethical responsibilities.
New Zealand Foreign Minister Winston Peters has denied claims from the Cook Islands that the two nations are part of a trifecta in their relationship with China, sparking a diplomatic rift. The Cook Islands signed 4 agreements with China in February, which New Zealand says undermines their 60-year partnership. Peters called the Cook Islands' description of the relationship utterly wrong and challenged Prime Minister Mark Brown to hold a referendum on independence. The tension has led to a pause in New Zealand funding and the cancellation of Governor-General Dame Cindy Kiro's attendance at the Cook Islands' 60th Constitution at the Cook Islands. The situation raises questions about the future of the Cook Islands' relationship with New Zealand and whether it will pursue more independent foreign relations.
In a thrilling T20 Series match in Harare, the Black Caps delivered a master class, securing a resounding victory over Zimbabwe, with the hosts winless from their first 3 matches. The Black Caps seized the opportunity to edge closer to the final after winning the toss and bowling first. The bowling attack, led by Adam, Milne, Mitchell, Santner, and Jacob Duffy, was in scintillating form, with Milne striking early by dismissing South Africa's skipper Rassie van der Dusen. The Proteas struggled to build any meaningful partnerships, with the best stand coming between Reza Hendricks. In response, the Black Caps' batting lineup, anchored by Tim Seifert, was nothing short of spectacular. Seifert's unbeaten 66, studded with 6 boundaries and 2 sixes, was the cornerstone of the innings. His partnership with Devon Conway and a crucial 50 home run stand with Durham. This win marks the Black Caps' 3rd consecutive victory under coach Rob Walter, and they now have one final chance to tune up for the Tri-Series final against South Africa.
Education Minister Erica Stanford is facing one of the most significant decisions of her career as she considers the future of the National Certificate of Educational Achievement, NCE, in New Zealand. The NCEA, once a progressive reform, now faces criticisms of creating an inequitable system, now faces cuisine as more academic. Stanford has already made bold moves, such as banning Sanspeaks and reforming curricula. But the NCEA presents a new challenge. Some suggest transitioning to the Cambridge system, which has been successfully adopted by countries like Singapore. Others argue for reforming the NCEA itself. With growing consensus that the NCEA has failed, Stanford must decide whether to abandon it or attempt to salvage it through further review and reform. The stakes are high, and the future of New Zealand's education system may depend on the path she chooses.
A new construction crisis is brewing in New Zealand, with signs of substandard work in new builds causing growing concern. Over a third of new homes in Greater Auckland failed final inspections. Homeowners are left vulnerable as defective buildings threaten both their finances and well-being. With the nation still recovering from the fallout of the previous crisis, officials are urging action before the situation spirals out of control. The stakes are high, and the need for accountability.
That's all for today's news. We appreciate your time. If you enjoyed this update, please consider subscribing. Your support helps us keep going.